Hello world and welcome to the Mecca of Mastery TV. I am your host Mecca. If it is your mission to become the greatest version of yourself in every area of life, then you, my soul friend, are in the right place. I'm so excited about this episode because in this episode we are speaking about personal and spiritual development. And the topic of this video is how to stick to what you say you're going to do. Let's get straight into the video. Baby, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you made a plan for yourself and you say, these are the certain things I'm going to do. I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to stick to this new workout. I'm going to stick to this business plan. I'm going to stick to this relationship, because we all know some people say they're going to stick to relationships and they don't. Okay, I'm going to stick to this course. I'm going to stick to this health plan. I'm going to stick to this, all of these things that we commit ourselves to. Now, here's the thing. These are things that you have a desire for. You actually have a desire. If you see anything moving around, y'all, it's my cat, okay? Faith loves to be up on me when I'm filming for some reason. I guess you can feel the vibes here with the soul family. But either way it go, these are your desires, right? Either way it go, these are your desires and you want these things, but there's certain reasons why you're not sticking to them. And I'm going to share you the reasons why I do not stick to certain things when I said I would, after studying myself, and not only just myself, but other human beings as well. And these are pointers that can helpfully help you as well. But before we get into this drip, right, I need to make sure we make it official that you are a family member here at Mecca Mastery TV. So make sure you go ahead and you click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. All right, for real, let's get into it. First of all, when you have these things that you say you want to do for yourself, which is desires that is coming from a space within you, the true space within you, I wanted to say that real quick. You have to make sure that they are desires that are coming from a deep space within you, a true space within you authentically. Because if they are not, you're not going to stick to them. This is what I mean, right? So let's say you're going to lose some weight, or you have this workout plan that you want to stick to. Now, your friend, your family member, or people in your community might have had this, right, and wanted this, but this is not something that resonates with you at a deep level. So because it does not resonate with you at a deep level, because the why of it is not strong enough and your feelings and emotions are not attached to it, you're going to have a hard time sticking to it. So for example, let me tell you, my personality here on this planet, something that I'm really interested in is dancing. I love dance. I love dance so much. So as a dancer, for the things that I want for myself for dance, I have to be physically fit, right? So going to the gym 3 times a week and lifting weights, and about 4 times a week doing cardio and yoga twice a week and things like that, and stretching every night is very crucial to me. That's going to allow me, right, to stick to my plans. That's going to make me want to go to the gym, because the emotional attachment that I have with that goal of wanting to work out is all about my dancing. I care so much about dance. I love it so much. It's like breathing to me. It's like making love to me for my body, right? So going to work out even when I don't feel like it, if it's snowing outside, if it's raining, if it's too hot, if it's just like one of those days where I'm distracted because it's so hot and everybody is outside and my friends is outside, and I can get sexy and sit down and drink virgin mojitos, but instead I need to go to this training session. That is something that will allow me to stick to my goal. Now, going forward, while we are talking about the why, your why has to be strong, so strong to the point that you are not going to allow any distractions or anything derail you from that, right? You have to have a not if or maybe type of mindset about the things that you want. This is a must. Like, you get up and you must brush your teeth. Hopefully you are. You get up and you must wash that butt, okay? You get up and certain days you must eat. You must drink water. You must, right? There are things and desires that you really have and you're not sticking to them. because you don't have that same energy like you do with like the simple things in your life. And you have to look at these desires as well that you have as like simple things in your life, but profound. Like it's a simple thing to drink water and liquid, right? Every single day. It's a simple thing to eat, but it's so profound. Like if you won't do it, you are out of alignment and off with yourself. So you got to give your goals and your goals and your desires, you have to have that same type of energy for them, right? That this is non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable. I don't care what's going on, what the weather changes is doing, what my friends and society is doing. I am aligning with this. You know, if life is not literally knocking me down on my feet to the point where I cannot, and if I have any way and willing to, then I'm going to. Now, this is not to say that you don't have flexibility in your life, right? Because let's say you live in a climate like I do with 4 seasons, okay? And then there are certain days where in the springtime we had a snow day, okay? We had a snow day in the springtime. And so the next day it was raining. So when it came 85 degrees outside, it's like, oh, I'm outside because I want to be in the sun. But I knew in my mind that even though I'm going to be in the sun today and I'm going to skip the gym, the next day or that next morning or at night when the sun set, I'm going to go to the gym. So you want to create flexibility, but you also want to make sure that you are not making a habit of not sticking to the things that you say you're going to do, right? So after you know your why and your why is strong, when the why is completely strong and it's attached to something emotionally in you, it's easier for you to stick to the things that you need to do. Now, here's another thing that will make me, for example, personally, derail from sticking to the things that I say I'm going to do is when I do not have protection in place for myself. Meaning when I'm not protecting my time, my space, my energy, and my gifts, right? So right now I'm filming, but I have friends calling me. I got my phone on Do Not Disturb. My phone is on Do Not Disturb, right? When I'm doing certain things or at the coffee shop or if I'm working, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. Sometimes I have moments where I'm very distracted, but I just reel it back in. Like, Mecca, we know what to do. This is why we're not getting the results that we are wanting, because we are distracted. And if you look at your life and look at certain areas and desires that you have and things that's calling to your spirit very deeply, you will see that the reason you are not aligning with them 9 times out of 10 is because you are distracted. And that is nobody's fault but your own. It is your fault that you are giving your attention to things that don't serve you, or you have emotions that is coming up and traumas and open wounds, childhood wounds that's coming up of not feeling enough or feeling like you're missing out. And those are things that you need to work on a deeper level. And if you need help with that, click the some of the links in the description box below, like 21-day healing plans, meditation guides. You know, you can pick my brain and call me and we can discuss that. But yes, that, absolutely. Another one, okay, is 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. I'm going to say that again. Proper planning prevents poor performance. I got that from a book titled Goals by Brian Tracy, right? That changed the game for me. I realized, of course, it's going to be difficult for me to stick to anything I say I'm going to do when, okay, I'm not planning properly. If I don't properly plan, I'm going to have poor performance, right? So taking it back to an example of the gym, okay, or to a diet. How are you going to say, for example, oh, I have these health goals and these are the health goals that I have, but when it comes time, you outside, you at work, or you're doing the things that you're doing, and you don't have any meals packed, you don't have no water with you, you don't have no snacks, no fruit, none of that stuff, no alkaline water. So guess what? You drinking out the faucet. You eating out. You spending money that you ain't want to spend. You eating things that don't belong into your body because you can't find what you want, right? Or you didn't, because you didn't properly plan. So sometimes the reason why you're not sticking to the things that you say you want to stick to and that you need to, that you have a desire for, is simply because you are not planning ahead. Planning ahead is so crucial. A lot of the reasons why people are not moving forward in their lives, why we don't move forward, is simply down to not being prepared, right? Sometimes you got all the tools and the resources, but you don't have a system in place. You don't have a preparation system in place. And so you are having to think and give so much mental exertion, mental energy to things all the time and wasting time instead of creating a system and planning ahead to the point where it will be smooth for you. So for example, taking it back to the example of like a diet, I would meal prep, right? So certain days out of the week, I say I'm going to meal prep, and there's like times that I will eat out. So certain times it just depends on where I'm at in my life. Like if I'm out and I'm on vacation for 4 days, I'm not talking about no meal prep. I probably will cook breakfast if, you know, I am there, or I might probably make a smoothie. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm on vacation, I'm eating fruit or I'm picking up food there. Maybe I'm on my diet, maybe I'm not. It just depends. But if I'm home and I'm working and things, it's just like my normal routine, my normal foundational activity, I would meal prep twice a week, right? So I will meal prep on a Sunday and I'll meal prep on a Wednesday. So I'll prep my meals and I'll cook like, let's say 3 pieces of fish, you know, for dinner. And then I'll cook my breakfast, prep my oats and things like that. And you know, all of that stuff, I will write it out and everything. So when it comes to these days, I grab and go. Like the night before, I'll prep my food, I'll prep my lunch. I have like this lunch box, for example, that I can plug in. It's an actual lunch box, but at the bottom there's a heater, and it heats up my container and it heats up the food, right? So when I'm at the cafe, instead of ordering DoorDash, okay, for $25 and no telling what's in the food, I just heat up my food, right? Like today I had some pasta. I had pasta, homemade pasta that I made with salmon and the vegetable juice. And I heated it up. And after I did my workout, the lunchbox, I sat and ate it in the car. There you go. I have to spend no money. And not only that, I did not have to take the risk of falling off of my plan and my diet, first of all, and I don't know what's out there in those foods. So you can apply that to anything in your life. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Now, the next one is, if you do not have a reward system in place, it's going to be hard for you to stick to something, because we cannot stay on something so long. This kind of ties into my last point, right? You got to have a reward system. So sometimes, yeah, I'm going to want to go out and spend money on food, for example. I ate good all week long. Today is Friday if I'm filming this video. Come Saturday or Sunday, I'm treating myself, right? Sunday, I'm going to brunch, honey, and I'm going to live it up. I'm going to spend on brunch. Whatever I want and whatever my little heart desires, I am spending that money on that brunch, right? Or I'm going to take myself on a trip, right? If I've been holding it down, I've been saving money, I've been sticking to the things I want to do here, and I said to myself, okay, for a month, I'm not going to spend money out on crazy stuff. I'm not going to buy no shoes. You know, I'm going to let my hair get a little bit frizzy. Instead of getting my nails done again, I might paint my nails myself or just not get my nails done, because I'm going to save up for a trip. I'm going to save up and then I'm going to invest into my business, but, you know, I'm going to grow my business or grow my bank account some more, whatever it is, desires that you want. But when I do this, and I'm going to be on this strict schedule, 5 a.m. every single day, not sleep by 9, and I'm going to do this 30-day challenge, and I'm taking a vacation for a whole week. You will feel good for the work. I don't want to say sacrifice, because that's a strong word that we use, and it has so much negative energy behind it. Saying sacrifice, it makes you feel cold. You don't sacrifice, right? You have these desires that you want. You're making adjustments to get what you want. You don't got to call that a sacrifice. It's not like, oh, I'm holding out on something. No, you are making adjustments, fine-tuning things so you can get more of something, right? That is what, quote unquote, people say sacrifice mean. That's like, oh, instead of eating out for 6 months this year, right, I'm going to eat all home cooked meals and just treat myself once every month to a dinner or something at a minimum of what, don't spend over $30 for the next 6 months. So I'm gonna take that money and then put it into like a car, and then put the car on Toro and rent it out, and it'd be an investment for me. That's a difference. That's a bigger difference. You get what I'm saying? That's a difference. That's a difference. That's not the same thing as, you know, like sacrificing for 5 or 7 years, you know, because you having a lack mentality and it's not going towards something, or you have a reward. When you have a reward in place, it's easier to stick to something because you have a reward. And these can be rewards as small or as big, but things that matter to you. So for example, for me, just going back to a money thing, like, okay, if I save this amount of money, or if I hit this goal in my business, meaning if I sit down on my laptop at 8 a.m. and I'm working steady, hard, concentrate till 2 p.m. and I'm only spending this much every single day at the coffee shop, and I got my head down and I'm focused and I'm not distracted. You know, at the end of this week, I'm going to take $100 for myself, and I'm going to hit my sales goal of like 7,000, and I'm just going to take like $100 and I'm going to buy $100 worth of plants. I'm going to take myself out to dinner for $30, and then I'm going to get me a mani and pedi. I'm going to spend like $300 or $400 on myself. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to invest back $2,000 into the business. I'm going to put about $2,500 to $3,000 into my savings account. And then I'm going to, you know, whatever else, right? However you want to put that. But you have to have a reward system in place for those things. Because if you don't have a reward system, what happens is you're going to always feel like you're in this fight or flight type of mode. And it's never going to feel good. It's not, you don't want to stick to it because you don't have anything that you're working towards. So remember, I said it's anything small. So sometimes for me, I will have like, okay, I'm going to work so hard that I'm going to take off Friday night and I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to sit in the house with my cat, pour me up some sparkling water and put some fruit in my sparkling water, pop me some popcorn in my new popcorn maker, and then just, you know, light my incense in a nice clean house and take a bubble bath right after. But that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be my relaxation thing after I did this, and I'm looking forward to it, right? And my mind can be at ease this week knowing that I did my best. So to wrap it up as well, I want to say one last thing. You just have to see it through. Sometimes it's just that your brain is on autopilot and you have other habits that are ingrained in you, right? So you have these other habits that's ingrained in you, and the brain is very stubborn. You have to like literally override it. And sometimes it's very hard and emotional because your brain is probably set into doing things one way, right? When I had to start getting back up at 5 a.m., my brain was not on it. I literally had to jump up like an angel possessed out of my bed and step up at 5 and say, oh, get up, Mecca. Because my brain was like, can we please stay to sleep till 7:30? Because we got into a habit of staying asleep till 7 or 8 o'clock. Please, can we stay asleep? And I was like, no, because I get more done when I get up at 5. I feel more aligned when I wake up before the sun, and I'm waking up. I get to see the sunset. Like, I have more hours. Like, it just feels better to me. So sometimes you have to, that's when it takes willpower. Willpower. Just stick to it. See it through, honey. See it through. There's no way. You got to go through the fire. To get out of the fire is to go through it. That's the only way. And I hope you love this video and you share this with somebody that you care about, because we always say here at Mecca Mastery TV that sharing is caring. And lastly, make sure you just update your vision. From time to time, get into solitude so you can see where you are at. Because sometimes the reason why you're not sticking to the things that you want to stick to in your life is because personally and energetically, soulfully, your desires are changing. So getting into solitude, sitting in nature for an hour by yourself, going to the coffee shop, you know what I mean, grabbing your tea and your coffee and just sitting down in silence with a piece of paper and blank and say, you know, dear soul, what are we hungry for right now? What do I desire and why? Because that's going to tell you what it is. Maybe there's just changes. You have some changes in your desires, and that's why you're not sticking to these things that you have planned for yourself, because energetically you are not there. Okay, so like I always say here, you go out into the world, my friend, you kick a whole lot of action. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything, because you can do whatever you put your mind and your soul and your heart to, honey. Remember, I am a coach. If you want to talk to me, if you need advice about anything, you can always email me at meccabookings@gmail.com, or you can book directly with using the link below in the description box. If you're on social media, make sure you follow me on these social media platforms. I would love to stay connected with you. And head to my website at MeccaFreeman.com so you can check out a wide range of soul food, honey. We got food for your soul. Listen, you go out into the world. I'm sending you love, light, peace, tranquility, good ass vibes, high frequency your way. Until next time, I see you in the next episode with peace and love. Thank you.